For the second time, the Overture Center for the Arts is giving visually impaired audience members a more inclusive experience, this time with The Lion King. NBC 15's Maria Lizignoli explains how the tactile tour is bringing a whole new meaning to seeing a show.
The Lion King is about spectacle. It's about great costumes and great masks and all these performers who parade through the audience.
But for those with visual impairments, that spectacle is only experienced through sound.
Are you a Disney fan?
I am.
You need to see it.
Even though Tim Davis from Stoughton can't literally see the show, he can now experience Lion King through other senses.
First time you'll hear me, didn't your mother ever tell you not to play with your food?
The actor who plays Zazu in the show, along with the head of costumes and the puppet master, led a tactile tour before the show.
So if you place your hand right there, you can feel his eyes.
What color are his eyes?
So his eyes, yeah, he has blue eyeshadow.
Oh yeah, he's even got a tongue or something.
17 people with visual impairments at the tactile tour touch the costumes and puppets and hear what's being shown on stage.
Just having the opportunity to describe what he looks like and what shapes he makes and how the different elements are put together, how he's constructed, I think helps to put together that whole picture of what makes Zazu Zazu.
From the contact with the costumes,
she's made out of an aluminum frame,
to the sounds of the stage. Visually impaired attendees also wear these headphones during the show to hear a live description of the performance.
They might describe choreography, and they might describe what a set looks like. They might describe how an actor moves in a particular moment, right? All to help someone who has a visual impairment understand the context behind what they're hearing.
A feature Davis says brings Hakuna Matata, or no worries, to the theater experience.
Because in the past, I would be, just listening but missing all the visual cues. And my wife Shannon was nice enough to, describe things, but it takes away her opportunity to also enjoy the show, feeling that she has to describe, and also people around. Also, sometimes we get a little bit irritated just because they didn't get to enjoy the show because we were whispering to each other.
The tactile tour, connecting communities in the circle of life.
I feel like, everyone else, every other patron, because now I can literally have the full experience.
In Madison, Maria Lizignoli, NBC 15 News.
That is so cool and so impactful. The Lion King runs at the Overture through May 28th. The Overture says interest in the tactile tours is increasing and hopes to include the experience in more shows this season.